India's #1 news network. And you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Over 300 injured in a crush of devotees during chariot pulling at the Jagannath Rath Yatra in Odisha. We'll tell you all about it. Stay tuned. The injured were quickly rushed to hospitals nearby. Authorities reassured that the situation at present is under control. What authorities are also telling us is that heavy rush and humidity added to the woes of the pilgrims at the chariot pulling event. The Rath Yatra began at 4 p.m. and after that we're learning of hospitalizations of at least 300 people. Outrage over gang rape of law college student in South Kolkata. Meanwhile, all the three accused have now been sent to 4-day police custody by students and various political parties onto the streets protesting against TMC government's lack of law and order in the state of West Bengal. Amidst outcry from all quarters, TMC has now distanced itself from the main accused in the South Kolkata Law College student gang rape case after Amit Malviya alleged that the main accused had links with the TMC. Leader of opposition in the lower house of the parliament, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, slams the RSS, says it wants Manusmriti, not the constitution, after calls to review the words secular and socialist in the preamble by the RSS General Secretary Dattatreya Hosable. The stranded F-35 jet. United Kingdom has now agreed to move this stranded aircraft to the maintenance facility of the same Thiruvananthapuram airport for repairs. The stranded F-35 made emergency landing back on the 14th of this month. External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar explains why the Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh refused to sign the joint declaration statement in the absence of a reference to terrorism. Says whilst the fight against terror is central to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's purpose, one member nation objected to even naming it. And in a big blow to Pakistan, Beijing has now clearly refused to give hypersonic missiles to Islamabad. It has also rejected Pakistan's demand for transfer of technology for the same. Well, our top focus this news wheel. More than 300 devotees that were injured, hospitalized during Rath Yatra in Odisha. Now, devotees were hospitalized after several people were, injured during the world-famous Rath Yatra that took place today. It began at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. The devotees got claustrophobic because of overcrowding during the chariot pulling ceremony of the Yatratra on the grand road of the pilgrim town. And the incident occurred when the pulling of the Taladhwaj chariot of Lord Balabhadra, the sibling of Lord Jagannath, began. And due to their devotion, emotion, thousands of devotees, they ran to touch the rope of the Taladhwaj chariot and attempted to pull it towards the Gundicha temple, the 3-kilometer journey from the Jagannath temple to Gundicha. This is about 2.5 kilometers away when the incident took place. And according to sources, the total hospitalization of devotees, more than 300. They were quickly rushed to high-tech hospital where 173 were admitted to the high dependency unit and 68 were given treatment in the OPD. However, at least 8 devotees were rushed to the district headquarters hospital after their conditions deteriorated. According to Dr. Manas Ranjan Panigrahi, he said that for emergency treatment, they were providing treatment right then and there, and they also have a yellow and a green and a red zone demarked inside the hospitals according to the condition of the patient, and accordingly they were providing treatment and then transferring them respectively to the nearby hospitals. Until now, almost more than 300 patients have been treated. Basically, what the doctor tells us is that they've got patients due to high blood pressure, weakness, hyperglycemia as well. Those are some of the diagnoses that the doctor is now telling us about. With me on the broadcast is Deputy Managing Editor of News9, Kartikeya Sharma. And also joins us on the broadcast is Shravanti Saha of News9. Kartikeya, let me quickly go to the reporter. She's been tracking developments, over there. Shravanti, if you can hear us, कितने लोग अस्पताल में इस समय भर्ती हैं? ये एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन कहाँ है जहाँ ये घटना घटी? Because what we're also learning is that this is a 3-kilometer stretch from the main Jagannath temple to Gundicha temple, where every year this chariot pulling ceremony is conducted. And what essentially was the real cause? The doctors are talking about, humidity, high blood pressure. How can you help the viewers? Over to you, Shravanti.
Yes, exactly. As you know, that lakhs of devotees, they attend Puri's Lord Jagannath's annual Rath Yatra. When after 5 p.m. actually the chariots, they are just going ahead to Gundicha temple, and lakhs of devotees, they are waiting outside at least from 9 morning. So they are ran to the chariot, and that is why the incident has happened. But the Chief Medical Officer of Odisha, he confirmed us that the injury is not so high. There is no red alarming situation. Patients are there not only for this incident, but also hypertension and other also. And they just give the basic treatment in the nearest hospital, and now they all are now okay. And as you know, the Chief Minister, he personally said before this Rath Yatra that he doesn't want any incident. So the whole administration, they are trying to do so, but now the 3 chariots, they are not reaching in Gundicha temple. Now they are stayed before half kilometer of this temple.
And Shravanti, since you were there on the ground, can you help the viewers understand the exact situation in terms of the weather and the climate? We can clearly see this water gun sprinkler that we see on our visual screens. We can see some of those ambulances ply as well, and this happens every year. People from not just different parts of the country, but different parts of the world come to Puri to watch this, grand event that takes place there. So in terms of arrangement, what was the arrangement on the ground? The Rapid Action Force, we can see plenty of fatigues and, police uniforms. What really was the problem essentially? Was it clearly just overcrowding and bad weather conditions?
So this is not a new situation for Rath Yatra. Every year, lakhs of devotees, they are coming Odisha Puri to see Lord Jagannath's temple and chariot. But this time, what we have seen after Operation Sindhu, a lot of arrangement from a security purpose it has done. And first, what they have prepared that the rope, only the police will handle the all of this. But the thing has not happened that way, because the chariots, because of if suddenly if something happened, that is why they what was their scheduled time 4 p.m. but they did not they could not start within 4. That is why they are already late, and people they were waiting. That is why they are running to the chariot, and that incident has happened. Now the situation is now under control of Odisha police, and the weather is at least better from the morning.
All right, Shravanti, before we let you go, finally, what happens to the Rath at this point in time? We earlier were learning that the Rath was stationed at that spot. Has it started moving towards Gundicha temple?
No, not tonight. They will start, because the rituals is not saying so. That is why from tomorrow again they will start from this spot.
All right. Shravanti Saha bringing us the latest details. She was reporting right there from Puri, where lakhs and lakhs of devotees we could see thronging this grand and auspicious event that we saw over there. Kartikeya Sharma continues to be with us. Kartikeya, we just heard Shravanti there. The doctor has said that there is no need to panic. This is not a red alert situation, which is again what we're telling our viewers as well. This is nothing to panic. It happens every year. There are arrangements in place, but I think this was just a bad recipe of harsh weather conditions and too many people, congregating at one spot. However, this happens every year. A lot of fatigues also deployed. How are you looking at these developments? What do you think might have happened?
I think, there are two things, we would like to inform to our viewers. There's a difference between a stampede and a crush. I think this was a more of an case of a crush, not a stampede, where in a requisite capacity, if 100 people are supposed to stand there, if 400 people gather there, then it leads to a crush. So, what does crush do? Crush will create a sense of lack of oxygen, as you very well pointed out, feeling of being claustrophobic, high heat, humidity, people not being able to breathe properly, a lot of moisture. So I think it was a case of crush where a lot of people came together, and it's very difficult. You can't blame anyone for it, because when it's a really Jagannath Yatra. I mean to say, it's an event. It's a festival. It's faith, religiosity, ethnicity, spectacle, devotion, faith, all combined into one. People come to watch it because they want to see it. People want to be there because they are devotees. They want to participate in it. कहने का मतलब है बहुत मुश्किल होता है कभी इस तरह की धार्मिक चीजों को फैसिलिटेट करना, बाहर से कह के आलोचना करना बहुत आसान होता है. It's very easy to criticize. It's very difficult to organize these events like Kumbh or, for example, Jagannath Yatra, when millions of people throng. So yes, there is an issue. The issue is that the crush has led to a lot of people getting hospitalized. A lot of 11 or 12. That's the official note says that officially 11 injured, and because a lot of people wanted to tug the Rath, because see, ultimately it's not about just being a participant. There's a ritual associated with it, and and this entire thing generates a lot of I would say curiosity, and there's a religious fervor around it. So I really don't want to get into the fact that what happened, but right now what we have been given to believe is that those who were injured, those who felt unconscious have been taken to hospital. They have been taken care of. But it also brings into our conversation one important thing: crowd management.
Yep.
Perhaps the crowd management could have been better. But just to give it a benefit of doubt to the state government, it's everyone is outside. Everyone wants to be there,
and the conditions and the weather conditions. Take a look at the mercury.
From the Western audience can ever understand that what it is to manage a crowd like that, which is visible on the screen of News9. It's a very tough thing.
Yep.
But then, well, that's the job of the government to manage. The buck stops with them.
And there is a blueprint in place as well, Karthik. It's not like this is happening for the first time. इतने ही लोग हमेशा सड़क पर उतर कर आते हैं. Everybody wants to not only catch a glimpse of those chariots, they also want to touch it, because you see, touching it also confers them, at least that's what the word goes by. Even touching the Rath confers you with eternal salvation. We've got a reaction coming in from a minister of the state. Let's listen in and understand how the administration is now reacting to these developments.
कुछ ह्यूमिडिटी के ज़्यादा ह्यूमिडिटी हो, इसके कारण से कुछ एक दो भक्त बेहोश हो गए हैं. उनको तुरंत हमारा जो रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन टीम है उनको स्ट्रेचर में लेके हॉस्पिटल तक पहुंचाने का भी जिम्मा लिए है. इस एरिया में, मंदिर के एरिया में हमारे प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर सेंटर लगे हुए हैं, और मैं भी खुद पर्सनली इसीलिए भीड़ में खड़ा हूं और इसको निगरानी कर रहे हैं. कहाँ स्ट्रेचर पे ले रहे हैं, ग्लूकोज मिल रहा है कि नहीं, पानी मिल रहा है कि नहीं, और पूरे जबरदस्त बंदोबस्त हैं. और इसके बाद भी मैं अभी किसी हॉस्पिटल कुछ को भी दौरा करूंगा, और जो कोई भी सीरियस इलनेस होगा तो उनको फिर तुरंत अच्छा इलाज दिया जाएगा.
Well, Karthik, you heard the Odisha minister. He kind of reiterated exactly what you had said, that there's a lot of arrangement that is already in place. It's just pure unfortunate circumstances that too many people had gathered here this time around. But there is one question that we do need to ask here, Karthik. Let's not talk about who pushed who, whether this was a stampede, whether this was a crush. People are getting their treatment, and at least 300 patients have been treated successfully. That's a good sign. People made a human chain so as these ambulances could ply, which is another positive sign. But Another incident happened in Digha, where Mamata Banerjee, the TMC, Supremo, Chief Minister of West Bengal, was there. 11 people got injured over there also. And in Ahmedabad, Kartike, an elephant ran amok. These were both Jagannath chariot Rath Yatra processions as well. So crowd management, I think that's the...
Kabir, I should say that the crowd management during religious festival is a very difficult thing. It's a very tough task on part of the state. You can't tell people not to come out. It becomes like a huge issue for people that, you can't manage people and you're asking us not to come out. India is a religious country. Socially, it's a conservative country. So, there are things that which you cannot say in public discourse. And it all falls down on the shoulders of the government to manage. Like if you have to manage 1 million people, you manage 1 million people. If you have to manage 500,000 people, they will need to manage 500,000 people. But the fact of the matter is, right now what we are reporting, which our correspondent told us from the spot, is that because of the crush, overcrowding, a lot of people felt sick. A lot of people had to be admitted because they couldn't breathe. People got injured because of the crush, people can get injured. Stampede doesn't lead to the crush. Crush sometimes can lead to the stampede, but fortunately, it did not lead to a stampede. It became a crush, and that is why I'm using the word crush and not a stampede. And crowding is something which has to be managed by CCTV footage, which has to be monitored by real-time
learning lessons. Karthikeya, in terms of learning lessons, like tomorrow the Yatra is going to be complete. What about next year? What are some of the takeaways from this incident now?
I would say, Kabir, that the basic takeaway is that, we have to be smarter. I think, for example, Yogi Adityanath's government did a brilliant job, though, yes, a stampede took place. But if you look at the way the Kumbh was organized, I think it was a feat in itself. The entire India was there. So, there's a BJP government in Odisha also. So the moral of the story is that, the crowd needs to be contained, facilitated, diverted. I think it depends on the way people manage crowd. It has to be done more scientifically. But I don't want to get into speculation how much and how many more. But yes, the crush did take place. The people did get hospitalized. There were eventually quick action taken by police and the various civil services involved in it. But I think it was very much avoidable, Kabir, I would say. And when I say it was very much avoidable, because Jagannath Yatra is not something which is organized at the spur of the moment. There's a timeline. You know when it's going to start. You know when the chariots are going to.
And there were delays. Shravanti told us about the delays. And I think those little delays, add into this huge cluster of logistical failure that we've witnessed in here today. And I think what you've said, let me reiterate that again, Karthikeya, that this is a crush. This is not a stampede. Many a times a crush could lead to a stampede. Stampede doesn't lead to a crush. Let's not create panic in the minds of our viewers, especially those that are watching this broadcast right from Odisha and Puri. I think, Karthikeya, many thanks for joining us, on the broadcast here and helping us put this story really into, a context, reading the finer print of this particular story, because this is not a stampede. Let's be very clear about that. And really fortunate and positive signs that we see people making those human chains so that the ambulances could fly, and at least 300 people were successfully treated in the nearby, hospitals as well. This is due to bad weather, this is due to claustrophobia, of course, humidity and denser air, which leads to these kind of situations. A crazy anomaly, of course, but not out of the ordinary. And thankfully, our logistical setup and our administration on the ground, of course, some things were missed, and we are going to be better prepared next time around. But things could have gotten way worse, and it did not happen so. On our auspicious occasion of the Rath Yatra, the chariot pulling ceremony of Lord Jagannath, as of now, no unfortunate incident or a casualty that is being reported. That's the biggest aspect to look at. We've got one more reaction coming in from Odisha, one of the other ministers and members of the administration. Let's listen.
जगन्नाथ जी के रथ यात्रा सारा विश्व में हर कोने में उनके जो भक्त हैं सब लोग इस मुहूर्त के लिए वेट किए थे। आज महाप्रभु जगन्नाथ जी का रथ यात्रा शुरू हुआ और सारा विश्व से हर कोने से उनके भक्त पुरी में समागम है। पूरा पुरी जो है भक्त का समंदर बन गया है और भगवान बलभद्र, माता सुभद्रा और जगन्नाथ जी भगवान का रथ शुरू हो गया है। आज तो बंद हुआ है, कल सुबह फिर रथ खींचा जाएगा मौसी के घर तक। देखिए, भगवान और भक्त का ये मिलन होता है। आज बहुत सारे लोगों में ये है कि रथ क्यों अटक गया, शायद भगवान जगन्नाथ जी का रथ रुक गया कोई भक्त के लिए।
Well, time for us to slip into a quick commercial breather here. Top developments continue on the other side. Keep it with News9.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
पार्टी हॉर्न्स भी होने चाहिए, मंगा लेती हूँ। खाकरा मंगवा लेती हूँ, थेपला भी मंगवा लेती हूँ। अलग अलग मत ऑर्डर कर, एक बार में मंगवा। एफर्ट्स और पैसे दोनों बचा। सेविंग्स की विद्या तो कोई तुझसे सीखे। जब पैसा हो बचाना, फेडरल बैंक से रिश्ता बनाना।
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every seam, every fold, is crafted with excellence. It's timeless elegance and uncompromising quality made for the corner office. It's the ideas that inspire redefining order and elevating the tabletop. To the nines, for the leaders of today and the visionaries of tomorrow.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Well, from highs of Nifty and Sensex to boost in Atmanirbhar defense. With Adamya, it's now time for our special segment, India in News. Well, India's financial services sector has emerged as the star performer of the 2025 year so far. In a bullish first half of the year, the Nifty Financial Services Index has surged nearly 16% year to date, outpacing all other market segments. The index hit an all-time high of 27,249 points in intraday trade, marking a sharp 22% rally from its 52-week low of 22,320. And this momentum is being fueled by a cocktail of positives. You've got easing geopolitical tensions, softening crude prices, a weakening US dollar index, and steady foreign portfolio inflows. Domestic institutional investors too are backing the rally, encouraged by strong fundamentals and hopes of a healthy corporate earnings revival in the June quarter, particularly in banking, insurance and the NBFCs. With top gainers like SBI Cards, NCX and Bajaj Finance leading the charge, the broader investor sentiment holding firm, the rally could have more room to run. Moving on, India's stock markets extended their winning streak for the third straight session, with both the Sensex and Nifty closing at their highest levels of 2025. The boost was powered by easing geopolitical tensions like